Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is GGF bringing you episode 56, I believe. Whatever it says in the title here is correct. Of Let's Try Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Hope you guys are doing well. I was stressing a little bit last episode because I had some questions about the game and was kind of maybe overthinking it a bit, but I did get some clarification. Act 1 here in Canabras is time sensitive, and the thing is, like, we probably have been resting way too much and spending too much time doing, like, you know, on Market Square and stuff like that. So we're gonna try to maybe speed things up a little bit here. Let's head to Blackwing Library because I want to start kind of focusing on the things that I really want to do, and that would be Blackwing Library and at least Worm's Mansion. Although Tirabade Residence is tempting, but we'll get there. Let's go find the storyteller, perhaps. Take 2 hours. Let's go. Hanged Cultist. A corpse wearing the robe of a worshipper of Discari hangs from a signpost. It's been here for a while, but the bag on its belt remains undamaged. You can procure some reagents for creating consumable items here. Takes less than an hour. Let's head there. Alright, we got flour, crooked paw, elemental essence, and meteor dust. Cool. Now let's head back to the Blackwing Library. Oh, a lost bag. A bag with a torn strap lies on the ground. You can procure, some reagents. Oh, edible moss, butter, fairy mushroom, and forked tongue. And finally, the Blackwing Library. This famous library holds one of the biggest collections of books in the field of demonology. Scholars and monster hunters from all across Mendev and even other countries came here, both to study the creatures of the abyss and to figure out how to deal with them. Let's go. Now we're going to have to... If an angel can fall, does that mean a demon can ascend? Well, that's a pretty interesting query right there. Alright, let's check this out. We've got... Barrel of flammable alchemical substance. Some peeps up there.
Can't hide from me.
Oh dang, the storyteller is burning. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Caleb. A stocky knight with a head of messy black hair stands before you. His armor is spattered with blood. He greets you with a deep, booming voice. The hefty crusader smiles merrily, paying no heed to the blood-curdling shrieks coming from the pyre. While you were wandering around besieged Canabras, the demons managed to take the initiative and inflict serious damage on the city's defenders. See, that's what I mean, stuff like that. And the acrid smell of burning flesh.
They burn well enough, don't they? Cursed traitors, Arilu's minions. These vermin infiltrated the Crusader forces and aided the demons from inside the city, but I caught them. I am Captain Caleb Sazamal, and these men are my subordinates. A strange feeling rises up within you. It is pure instinct. You don't know what you're about to do, but you are certain that it is right. Perception 17. Take a closer look at the ruthless crusader. Succeeded. Caleb is talking too loudly, all while casting sidelong looks at you. You have seen similar behavioral quirks before in liars. Huh. Give in to the strange instinct. This requires trickster mythic path. Put out those flames. I order you in the name of Baphomet. Okay, let's... Lore religion. Examine the Crusader's armor and symbols on it. Failed. After carefully
Studying the Crusaders' armor, you can say with certainty that they aren't fakes. These men are real Crusaders. Let's do this. The words fly out of your mouth before you can even think of them. Some gut instinct told you that this is precisely what needs to be said in this moment, and the words hit their target. The Crusaders jump in surprise and look at each other in terror. Performed a chaotic action. Woljif glares menacingly at Caleb. Didn't you know, mortal? We're everywhere!
Sir, we didn't know you were one of us. You heard him. Put the flames out.
Cuffing his lackeys round the head, Caleb herds them straight toward the fire. All three of them start trying to fight the flames, showing no concern for their own safety. An inexplicable feeling of rightness flows through you. You enjoy seeing the look of oafish terror on the faces of the Crusader and his lackeys when you rebuke them for their fecklessness. Whoever doesn't pull his weight is a dead man. I'll take the other two into Baphomet's forces. Oh. With a wary look in your direction, Caleb abandons his own attempts to quell the flames and turns his focus to thumping and kicking his subordinates to hurry them along. The method proves surprisingly effective and the flames begin to dwindle. Quickly, you worms. If you keep dawdling, I'll throw you into the furnace at the Great Garrison. Caleb grunts in wordless terror and desperately fights the flames. Every so often he sends murderous looks at his associates, whom he has clearly already condemned to death. You blithering idiots, you cat-candid dimwits, you empty suits of armor. You watch in satisfaction as Caleb and his two lackeys rush to put out the alchemist's fire. Their armor becomes covered in soot and welts rise on their skin from the flames. Succumbing to another strange oratorical impulse, you chivvy them along with barked orders and florid invective. You know what? I'm not even going to say. We could listen to our gut. Report, who are you? The Crusader's eyes bulge in fear as he barks out,
Caleb Sazamal, former Knight of the Order of Everblake Crusaders, deserter. These two are my mates from playing cards, local fences for stolen goods. Reliable men. We set an ambush and caught 4 Crusaders. We wish to join the ranks of the triumphant army of the Worldwound. Good lads, brave fighters. We could do with more like you in the cultist ranks. Then our victory would be assured. Thank you, I do my best.
Caleb watches Lan with rapt attention, his eyes lingering on Lan's horn. I must admit that the rationality of this individual should be questioned and subjected to thorough study for the purposes of establishing the existence of said rationality.
What?
Let's play with them a little bit. Caleb is a Crusader name. Are you a Crusader? I hear we could give you a name worthy of a demon, Foulsnout. Biting his lip, the bold cultist proudly thrusts out his chest.
Thank you, sir.
Foulsnout furrows his brow in a display of menace, trying to show his brutal determination to take on all the Crusader forces put together. Listen to your gut. Stop wasting valuable fuel. If you like burning books, go rig the Great Garrison Library. Our enemies might try to sneak in there. Step to it. There's plenty more where that came from, sir. I'll do everything you've ordered, and just as soon as those Crusaders arrive, they'll be dead meat. I'll go make sure that we get another 2 barrels of alchemist fire from the Grey Garrison storeroom. Things are going to burn right up in there. Gain 69 XP. And we saved the storyteller. There is the storyteller. A blind elf stands before you. He looks extremely strange. His face wears its years heavily, which is unusual for members of his race. Thinning gray hair, a ragged beard, sightless milky eyes, pale papery skin covered in age spots, a spine curved by the passage of time. This is not how elves typically age. The youth that graces the faces of elves, even on their deathbed, has totally abandoned this decrepit specimen. That is an elf with a beard. I guess the worst can be found even among the best. Bearded elf, how very intriguing. If you please, I'd like to pluck out a hair of that phenomenon manifesting on your chin, in the interest of science, of course. The old elf holds out his hand in your direction in the perennial gesture of the blind, greeting you with an unexpectedly strong and calm voice.
Hello, I am the storyteller, and I wish to thank my rescuers. That is, you, if I am not mistaken.
Storyteller, a mysterious elf traveler who arrived in Knaber shortly before Discari attacked. The strangest part about him is not his blindness, but the fact that he looks ancient, even though old age typically does not affect the appearance of elves. This enigmatic figure harbors many secrets. Storyteller, huh? That's the first I've heard of a venerable old-timer like that having a street name. Who are you? The old elf frowns.
I prefer to call me storyteller. I prefer people to call me storyteller. It very accurately describes the sphere of my occupations and interests. In most of the places I have been, I am known by that name.
How come you didn't burn in the fire?
To tell the truth, I myself do not know. I felt the heat, it was so strong. I waited for the pain, the burning, but I was unscathed. But the smoke nearly did finish me off. It may be some form of magical protection against fire, but I don't know by what means I may have acquired it. Just another oddity for my collection of the inexplicable. Gloom steals across the storyteller's pensive face. I want to talk to you about something. The old elf responds with dignity and courtesy, but firmly. In thanks for my rescue, I of course will render you a service in turn, whatever it may be. However, at this moment, I wish to be somewhere safer than the present surroundings. My recent adventures have fatigued me greatly. I would be grateful if you could help me to a safe shelter of some kind.
The stubborn set of the elf's mouth tells you that he won't change his mind. Typical. You do someone a good turn, and instead of saying thank you, they just ask for more help. Go easy on the old elf. He's had a rough go of it. Yeah, because we've had it so easy. We can't not help him. If it was up to me, Grandfather Elf, I'd throw you over my shoulder and carry you out of here. This is no place for old folks. I'm taking you to the Defender's Heart.
Please accept my sincere thanks once again, and if I may, please don't rush. I will struggle to keep up with your young legs.
Do you want to go to the Defender's Heart now? Cancel. No, I do not. Let's explore the library a bit, because there's all sorts of stuff here. Wow. Full plate, no kidding. Potion of Blur, Alchemist Fire, Cure Moderate, Masterwork Heavy Crossbow, no kidding, and a Cold Iron Masterwork Heavy Mace. Wow. Loot everywhere, airware, 2 Purifying Solutions, a coin, a dagger, a Scroll of Stunning Barrier. The bookcase is full of text describing methods of fighting them, describing demons and methods of fighting them. Regrettably, all this knowledge wasn't enough to save Knabers from the spawn of the Abyss. Yeah, let's explore a bit. Here's a book. How to make money during the war against demons. Wow. Oh, this is a long one. My mentor and training partners used to feel sorry for me. I had enough power to summon and hold a lesser imp at best. Would you call that real magic? Huh. But there's nothing a smart lad like me can't use to stake out his reputation to make his fortune. There's one particularly nasty sort of demons called abracandilus. They're made of the souls of vandals and destroyers of art. In demon form, they continue to do the same. When they see beautiful pictures and statues, they fly into a rage and desecrate them. I once overheard a conversation on the street between 2 art collectors. They couldn't decide whether they should patronize a young and promising artist or a famous maestro whose best days were behind him, so I made them an offer. How about we place the 2 paintings side by side, and I'll summon an abracandilu. Whichever painting it attacks first would naturally be the more beautiful. The key was to banish the demon in time before it destroyed the painting, but that wasn't going to be a problem for me. The collectors agreed to run this experiment according to my plan, and thus my legacy began. 3 months later, not a single art event could do without me and my demon servant. We were invited to exhibition openings, appraisers' workshops, and auctions. The more the enraged demon became, on seeing another carving or slapdash daub, the higher its price soared. and they paid me well for my appraisal. I often staged artist battles in which the demon would choose which of two paintings it despised most, and the tickets sold like hotcakes. However, there was one unfortunate incident. A gnome and an elf came to me from Absalom, two young, bright-eyed artists. They wanted to enter one of these battles, but they offered peculiar sculptures instead of paintings. The gnome had a huge pile of nibbled apples preserved by a spell. The elf had a watering can without any holes, which stood on a cart with one square wheel. This, as they explained to me, was modern art. It was, how did they put it, unconventive, or some such thing. They claimed it was popular in Absalom, where the gnome and the elf were very famous unconventive artists. Well, my job is simple: to display their works, gather an audience, and release my demon from its prison. And that's precisely what I did. But the Abracandilo came out of his cage, looked at the apples and at the watering can with the cart, and then looked at me like I was a complete idiot, turned around and went back to its cage with an expression of utter disappointment. It was nearly an international scandal. I was so upset that I even returned the money for the appraisal to the gnome and the elf. But it's alright, my business still thrives, even without the Absalom clientele. Meanwhile, where are my more talented fellow apprentices? Half are still crouched over books, learning what they can. The other half went off to those ridiculous crusades and perished. They never considered that demons can be used to make money, and a lot of it. I think I'll soon buy myself a little palace and cover its walls with the works of all the most famous artists. Oh, that's pretty cool. Can we actually go down here? That's as far as we can go. Alright, we've got another book. We're going to be reading a bit today, guys, it looks like. This looks like it's enchanted or something. Maybe not. The Keen Edge of Truth, Recollections and Admonitions of an Inquisitor of Asmodeus. Or Asmodeus. The demon lords whose names are known to mortals number no more than a few dozen. Far more numerous are those who aspire to that rank in their own abyssal realm, but who, as yet, are unable to make a bid for such power. There are hundreds, possibly thousands of such demons, but their names are known only to experienced demonologists, and to those unhappy fools who decide to sell their souls to the abyss, and fail even to find a worthy patron for their trouble. Time and time again, one of these weaker demons will secure a resounding victory, scale the heights, or should that be, sink to the depths, of a demon hierarchy, already fancying themselves a demon lord, when they soon make a misstep and die an inglorious death. The fate of such a demon could serve as a lesson to the rest, but if demons possess the capacity to learn from their own or others' mistakes, would they even be demons? No. A stubborn refusal to learn is one of the major flaws that distinguish the bedlam of the abyss from the well-ordered hierarchy of hell. The demoness is Yagna. She of the sevenfold swarm serves as an example of such a fall from disgrace. One of the many daughters of Lamashtu, she possessed 7 bodies, 7 mortal women of the various races of Galarian, each with an ant's head, controlled by one hive mind. She commanded various insects, swarming, crawling creatures, with ants her especial preference. The author of these words witnessed the oath of obedience sworn by cultists of Isyagna with his own eyes. The witless initiate was forced to meditate while sitting atop an anthill. However, the human sacrifices being carried out by this fool's brethren around the little town I was serving in at the time were far from amusing. It required no small effort to destroy the cultists who had been summoning ravenous swarms and spreading madness in the name of their mistress. So what became of her? What fate befell Isyagna? The particulars are unknown, but consensus holds that the mistress of the crawling swarm ran afoul of the master of the flying swarm, the far more powerful demon lord Daskari. Only Lamashtu's intercession saved her daughter from death, but not from abasement and the loss of her powers. Consequently, most of her followers forsook for the cult of the Mother of Beasts. Today, Isyagna is worshipped by a handful of individuals who possess a stubborn predilection for sitting on anthills, and even to them she can grant only minor spells. Huh. Interesting. Okay, let's move over here. Knowledge Arcana. Let's quick save. Pick up this book. Without a shadow of a doubt, expecting nothing in return, the life and feats of Lord Axelar Tresbot by Nura Dendewar, Neurosian, Cruciform Cathedral Publishing House. Frowning, Lord Tresbot made a gesture for his people to halt. Everyone froze, no one dared to disobey his order, even one given with his eyes alone. Lord Tresbot loved to say that he could only win when his whip frightened his soldiers more than the demon's claws, and he succeeded like no other in enforcing discipline. The Lord approached what we took for a scarecrow from afar, left in the middle of the wasteland by an unknown farmer. Pricking it with his sword, the Lord made us a sign to approach. It was the body of a young crusader, a boy not 20 years old, horribly broken, disemboweled, with shards of bone sticking out and shreds of skin dangling in the wind. Horror watched us from the stake, eye sockets filled with... okay. Sorry about that. A contemptuous smirk crossed the Lord's face. Coward, he said through his teeth, fled from the battle. The demons caught him and he surrendered without a fight. And here are his useless fellows. The Lord kicked an inconspicuous bump under his feet and it rolled, revealing an open helmet's visor with greenish-gray mush inside, swarming with insects. We shivered and looked down, realizing the ground underneath our feet was a mix of shards of metal and pieces of flesh. Cowards, the Lord said again, cowards and weaklings. They were doomed even before they approached the world wound. They should never have left their comfortable homes. What did they achieve? They delivered the demons a hot lunch, that's all. Let's go. While the slugs waste their useless lives, someone has to win this ridiculous war. Without turning away or heeding the disgusting crunchings down underneath his feet, he strode forward. We hurried after him, trying not to step on anything that was until recently a part of someone's border. Pretty wicked stuff there. Let's look around. Here we've got some loot. 2 meteor dust, nice. A coin, a comma, and a scroll of enlarged person. Come over here. The great library of Canabras has been ravaged and wrecked in the most barbaric way. It seems that someone took perverse pleasure in smashing lamps and furniture and tearing pages out of books. Ooh, lots of stuff over here. Oh, Wings of Stone. You found the griffin statue. Huh. Oh. I have not saved, but okay. Whoa. Was that a griffin? I thought they were long extinct in these parts. A fascinating phenomenon. It's a pity the specimen flew away before I could take any measurements. We got an achievement for that, but what the heck? Just a random griffin flying by? Here's a book, The Varisian Horror. When they reached the cemetery hill, the rain was pouring. In spite of the weather and the priest's weak protests, Rigor had no intention of stopping. If his suspicions were correct, the evil that settled in the village many years ago had to be stopped as soon as possible. The local priest, whom Rigor and Magra had approached for help in their quest, was alarmed that these strangers were accusing someone from his flock and decided to tag along so that he could defend the innocent should the need arise. Ascending the broken stairs leading up to the ancient crypt atop the hill, Rigor quietly pulled out his blade and hid it under his soaked cloak. Once the two got to the hewn stone that served as a sacrificial altar, he spotted the gravedigger. Despite the late hour and the violent storm, he was digging a shallow grave. Before Rigor had the time to intervene, the priest, prompted by a desire to clear the hermit of suspicion, went straight toward the massive, misshapen figure. The gravedigger turned his head and, at the first sight of Rigor and Magra, started moving with speed that didn't match its proportions. He leaped far forward and the shovel cut through the cold autumn air, striking the priest's head. Pieces of skull and spattered forth, and the gravedigger, letting out an unintelligible roar, lunged at the outsiders. Magra, who had already raised her hands, froze in terror. The gravedigger's gaping mouth was filled with dozens of rows of sharp needle-like teeth, and the sorceress's weakened mind was struck by a murky stream of abhorrent blasphemy in an otherworldly tongue. Rigor, however, had kept his composure. Dodging to the side, he slashed the corpulent body as if cutting open with a wet smack the gravedigger's revealing to the mortal eyes the beast's true form, one of a foul worm, whose sickening body was now human frame. The cemetery keeper was an abominable vermlek demon, created from the souls of despicable scum that in life used to defile graves and disturb the deceased in the vilest of ways. After rising from the bowels of the abyss and invading Galarian, he and his kind are always drawn to places that used to excite the minds and fantasies of their progenitors. Interesting. Wow, a griffin though. Where do we fly off to? Coal, scroll of reduced person, and a padded armor of focus. Another book. Guino Pollen, notes from my travels in northern Avestan. Cool. Let's check it out. In the knowledge that the best place to observe the effects of extraplanar energy entering our world is the region formerly known as Sarkoris, I immediately set off for that desolate land. Upon arriving in Mendev and making inquiries to find a guide who would agree to escort me to the lands bordering the World Wound, I came up against an unexpected impediment. The local rangers and guides categorically refused to help me. Desna, however, smiled upon me and led me to a local hunter. After 3 tankards of grog, he agreed to go with me to the World Wound and show me the area. By the time he had sobered up, it was already too late to reconsider. We had passed the last cordons and had plunged deep into the forests of Sarkoris. Even thousands of miles away from the planar rift itself, an attentive observer can discern the anomalies brought about by the World Wound. Oh, this is going to be cool. Insignificant differences that became more and more pronounced the closer one gets. The first thing that struck me were the unnatural trees that looked as though they had all been sketched from a single exemplar. Then the quality of the air changed. It tasted different with every inhale, from sulfur to caramel, from acrid salt to spoiled herring. According to the almanacs I had consulted on my journey to Mendev, one of the first signs of the World Wound's creation was towers of black smoke billowing up from the rift. The terrifying sight above the southern steppe and the tales of my guide confirmed that the effusions of ash and poisonous fumes continued to this day, although I did not expect the air there to taste like one was standing between a confectioner's and a crematorium. As we journeyed on, we encountered the remains of dead livestock, dogs, and even people. Some skeletons bore the marks of demon claws, while others had clearly expired of rather more original causes. We even came across 2 perfectly mummified corpses that looked as though they had been turned to stone. Skirting around a sparse and foreboding forest, we came upon a plain that was bisected by a series of unnaturally uniform hills. I would have been only too happy to study said phenomenon, but alas, after several paces, my guide was hoisted up into the air and quite literally turned inside out. After shedding my frock coat and the encumbrance of my souvenirs collected along the way, I hastily withdrew. Good move, good move. Let's see what we've got here. Any perception checks? Any, anything at all here? Can we come back here? Oh, we can. Wait, let's go get this book, though. I don't know what we're going to do with the storyteller. Terendelev, the Guardian of Canabras. Oh, wait. Did we read this already? Canabras has had no shortage of prominent figures, both those who have long passed away and those who still reside within the city walls, but it's safe to say that the greatest guardian there ever was, is, and will be, is the silver dragon Terendelev. Among metallic dragons, the silver kind in particular has high moral standards, although, like most of their kin, they often remain indifferent to matters concerning mere mortals. They find it unbearable to watch impassively as injustice and crime are committed with impunity. Gazing down upon Galarian from above, Terendelev has seen her share of injustice and violence. But no tragedy disturbed her peace more than Mendev's war against the world wound. Drawn into action by her curiosity and her interest in the Crusaders that paid for others' peace with their own blood, Tarendaliv swooped down from the mountains and walked among the humans, taking on their form. This world must have felt so odd to her, so different from her own. Luckily for her, Tarendaliv was not the only dragon living among mortals, and the wise gold dragon, Halaseliax, became a mentor for Tarendaliv and her sworn brother Sevalros, who later mysteriously disappeared from history and human memory. During her life amidst mortals, Tarendaliv performed many heroic deeds. She fought terrifying abyssal spawn, kept Canabras safe from enemy onslaught, and personally saved crusaders in need. In one such excursion, she herself fell victim to demonic taint. Onlookers reported that her shining silvery armor darkened, her eyes clouded, and her speech and movements became ruthless and crude. But so great were her spirit and determination that she achieved the impossible. She overcame the seed of evil planted in her very heart and returned to good once more. Today, Tarendaliv is a living symbol of the resilience and stalwartness of Canabras, which serves as a stronghold for crusades and humanity's bastion in the war against the demon threat. And unfortunately, she passed. She was taken down. You learned something from this book. What? Alzarian, what does this mean? Oh, we're learning something new from all these books.
We should prepare.
What am I learning? Oh my gosh, look at this. This book grants a +1 competence bonus to attacks and damage on all natural attacks. We don't have natural attacks yet, though. This book grants a +1 morale bonus to AC against dragons. This book grants a +1 competence bonus on saving throws against swarms. Nice! Oh my gosh, you can learn stuff from books like that. That is awesome. Am I the only one who learned it, though? Yeah, I guess so. Cool. More books over here. Barrel of flammable alchemical solution. Maybe the last book here. Temples of Iomedae, Father Lorien's Guide for Neophytes. Let's give it a read. Short one. Traveler, if the road ever takes you to the outskirts of Canabras, do not shy away from taking a few more steps and entering the city proper. Apart from the ramparts and the fortifications that stand unshaken, barring the path of humanity's foes and the noble orders that keep their watch against the forces of evil, Canabras holds a treasure of a different sort. In days of old, in the fire and the upheaval of the Second Crusade, it became the site for the first and most crucial of the ward stones, sacred obelisks that have the power to avert a demonic scourge. No matter how accursed it may be, no evil creature can pass betwixt two such stones that now stand along the edge of the world wound and shelter the peace of all Galarian. Even vile demonic magics are powerless against them, for the abyss cannot cross the unseen curtain of the ward stones. Should you arrive at the right time and be virtuous and respectful toward those who guard the ward stone, you shall be granted the great honor of sharing in one of the rituals that support the magical strength of that holiest obelisk. This artifact and the spells invested in it are most sacred, for every ward stone was raised by the Herald of Iomedae himself, the closest of her servants, one who is selflessly devout to the Inheritor's cause and the Crusader's great mission. And even if you cannot reach the ward stone, do honor Iomedae's splendor in one of Canabras' churches, and pay thus your respects to the humankind's protector and the sacrifices made by the Crusaders for the good of our world. And we learned something from that book, I think? Or maybe not, I don't know. Yep, learned something from it. Cool. Oh my. A door, 2 flame tongue, and an edible moss. Let's quick save. See how long we've been playing or reading for. 34 minutes. Alright, let's open it. Bong bong. Ooh, wow. Nice. Knowledge world.
A success worthy of praise.
Nice, Nenio. This is a statue of the mage who founded the Blackwing Library. He cut the wing off a demon known as a Vrock and hung it above the entrance. We've got a chest with a magic essence. An essence obtained through painstaking distillation of rare magical ingredients. An expensive and valuable substance, sought after by craftsmen and wizards who create magical items. Only worth 3, though. A coin, a light pick, and a scroll of doom. A leather armor. Oh boy. A scale mail. And a quarterstaff of coercion, says Elzarian. Nice. Not the greatest of finds, but we'll take it. Now wait, let's come back here. Try to take this knowledge arcana check right here.
It went splendidly.
Nenio. Some monstrously large demonic blade fell upon the library, splitting the ruins in two and leaving an enormous black scar. It is possible that Discari himself was the one to destroy this building with his terrifying scythe, Rift Carver. And we can come back here, right?
Tread lightly.
No, we can't. That's as far as we go. Alright, so the griffin flew off, the storyteller's here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up. I'm not going to take him back yet, though, because I want to explore more. Oh, we can't leave? We can't leave until we take the storyteller. I should have came here last, guys. We literally can't leave without taking the storyteller. Oh boy, well hopefully, we don't. Let's see what happens. I'm taking you. Oh wait, the old elf frowns as if he's listening closely to something, then decisively turns his face to you. Elzarian, is it not? I recognize you from the sound of your footsteps. There was a griffin statue here. It suddenly came to life and flew away. Do you know anything about it? The griffin stood in this library for decades, but only today did he take flight. Why? I do not know, but I am glad his ancient slumber came to an end. The elf smiles at his thoughts. He has a long history behind him, and yet the real tale is only beginning just today. No, I will not reveal his secrets. I think your paths will cross again, so you can ask him yourself. I'm taking you to the Defender's Heart. Please accept my sincere thanks once again, and if I may, please don't rush. I will struggle to keep up with your young legs. Alright, we have to accept. Hopefully, we get him back in like an hour and we can head back out right away. Or else I'm going to have to nix this whole visit to the Blackwing Library and go down the other way first to Tierabade residence and stuff. Alright, the Burning City. Visit the Blackwing Library. Cool. Nobody here. Everything is going smoothly. So potentially, I should be able to just step back out through the door.
I'm gone.
And head back out as if nothing even happened. Reason being, I don't want there, something to pop up to where we have to return immediately and do something. So, yeah, there's a bring the storyteller, talk to the storyteller. I mean, we could do that later. Don't think I can make it to the Pitaxian wine cellar. 5 hours might be a bit too much. But I'd like to hit Tierabade residence. 7 hours, then we'll hit Topaz Solutions, then Gorm's Mansion, then if we have time, Arandaze, and go from there. So, next stop, we probably should go to Gorm's Mansion first. That's only 4 hours away. Well, then we can come here, and then back to Arandaze. So let's set a location for Gorm's Mansion. This manor in the city's wealthy quarter looks grand but not overly opulent. It didn't attract a lot of enemy attention during the demonic invasion, perhaps due to the fact that its guards and servants had fled right after the first attacks, and demons are usually more interested in living victims than in their empty houses. So let's get going there. And in the meantime, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. appreciate y'all very much. If you are enjoying the Let's Try, please go ahead and hit the like button and give this video, well, you can also leave a comment.
I'll cut you wide open.
We are the light. They
Just
are
one
the
Baphomet's
darkness.
cultist? Really? Ah! Oh. Whoa. Another Baphomet's cultist. Let's grab the protection from good. Ooh, Masterwork Glaive, Dagger, and Chain Shirt. Nice. Land again. Scroll of Divine Favor, Masterwork Glaive. Nice, I'll take it.
Follow these steps.
Lovely. And it did not, impede on our journey at all. Couple of Baphomet cultists in the wrong place at the wrong time. Alright, so I'm going to save here. And again, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you join me. And subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, so you don't miss any uploads. And that said, guys, I hope you'll join me next time. We might skirt off to Tierabade Residence first, just to grab the goodies there, and then head to Worms. But I think that's what we'll do, actually. But I hope to see you guys next time, so don't go anywhere. Much more fun to be had. Hopefully the timer doesn't run out on us. We can get this content done. And yeah, until next time, guys, be well, live well, stay well, and much love, peace, and joy. Thank you so much, guys. Ciao for now.